Hi, we're back. Mom Proof.
Hello.
Hi. This is all about the art of being comfortable.
Don't look at me.
With being uncomfortable. And we have a super special guest today, Peyton Medina.
Hello.
This is so exciting.
Hey,
So excited.
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Yep.
It's
I'm
really
so
our
excited.
pleasure. Yeah. This is kind of something interesting we've been talking about for a while because you're a teenager, but you're super adulting also. And having just graduated from school and made a few different calls that maybe your friends weren't doing, we're super intrigued by that. Can you tell us a little bit about what's been going on? Who is Peyton Medina?
Who is Peyton
She's a
Medina?
singer, I should say that.
Oh,
Yeah.
wait, you didn't tell us. The guitar.
I know.
Maybe next time. Dang it.
Yeah, I made the decision like last year to not go to college and just take music seriously. And
That is gutsy, and I love it. I love the grit.
How scared were you?
I was honestly, when I was in kindergarten, I remember thinking when I was 6, like, I have to go to school for 11 more years. Like I've always like, that's always been my thought process was just like, and then you expect me to go to college for 4 more after that? Like that was always kind of like,
That's awesome.
I was like, I don't know how I feel about that. And then my junior year, I was in a college prep class and the teacher was, like telling us how important college was and how we needed to start applying to colleges. And she was like, you need to make sure that you're doing something that you can go to work every day and it doesn't feel like work. And so I was like, what else could I do other than music? And that's
Beautiful.
always been something that I didn't even have to think about. It was just like, I've always had music. And so I went home that day and I was crying to my mom and I was like, I don't even know if I want to go to college for this. I don't know if that's my path, because I know I already have my music stuff going. Like, I just want to figure this out. So we kind of looked into colleges with music, things that are music paths that I can take in college. And then last year, senior year, when we were doing that, like everyone was applying to colleges and stuff, there wasn't any sense of urgency for me. Like I wasn't like,
Wow. Hey, time that you noticed that is really cool. Like the perception to go, I'm not feeling the need to do this.
Right.
That's way beyond your years, I think.
thank
It
you.
really is.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah. So sorry,
that's-
but that
and
I
that's-
was like, that's cool.
part of that listening to your
to your-
inner self,
it is.
your intuition. What do you?
How do we teach that? So Peyton, just so pause there for a sec. What did you notice? Like, were you just calmer? Were you sad that you weren't like look at them, but I'm not doing it, but I'm okay with that? Like, take us through what you actually thought, how you knew, if you remember.
I have always wanted to do music, and I knew I always wanted to do music.
Yeah.
That was like can't really explain that because I've always just known. And I feel lucky because a lot of people like don't know. That's been certain where it's like even if I'm not like an international pop star, I still write music, so I can take so many different paths in the music industry.
Wow, brilliant. Brilliant.
I remember feeling a little stressed out at first just because I was like, I'm going to miss out on that college experience.
That's what I was wondering. That part must kill a little bit.
I was just like, I know that this is what I want to do, and there wasn't a doubt in my mind that that's what I wanted to do, but I was worried that I would have a really bad case of FOMO, seeing all my friends, like going to frat parties and doing all that stuff. So that was the only thing I was really stressed about. But when the summer came around and, we were all spending our last summer together and then school started and I started working and taking music more seriously, I didn't have FOMO. And it was like the first time ever, because even in high school, like we were all doing the same things and I was always having FOMO if I like couldn't go to something or I couldn't, and it was really like relieving to be like, all of my friends are doing this, but I have my own thing going and I'm so confident in what I'm doing that it's like, it's not even a question. It's just what I need to do.
So you can actually don't you want
Wow.
to just tell every high schooler out there?
Yes.
There is going to be a time, kids, that you don't have FOMO.
Yeah.
Right.
It is
Oh
going to
my
happen.
gosh.
And when you feel that,
It's
that's
so
gonna be,
nice.
I'm
We take
good
that
with
for
myself.
granted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the fact that you made a decision and you were happy with that decision and you followed your heart to do what you wanted to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's impressive. And so I love that you noticed it. And then also, did your friends notice you were not as available? You weren't hanging out as much, or did you change? Do you think in their eyes?
Yes. I mean, I've had people be like, dude, you're MIA. Like, where have you been? You know, like, what's going on? And I'm like, I'm not MIA. I'm just like really doing what I have to do right now. And
God, it must blow away a lot of kids.
yeah,
because
it's funny because yesterday me and my friend were talking about like when we have kids and they're in high school, like my mom was always like, if you don't go to this party, it's not going to be the end of the world. But I remember in my head being like, I'm going to miss the best day ever. And everyone's going to have so much fun without me. And now I'm like, I wish I could have told myself, like, it's not that big of a deal. Because now I feel so good about, like, if I don't want to go, I don't have to go. And I have my priorities. And so.
Do you think if you were to share that with another 16-year-old that they would listen to you?
Absolutely not. I wouldn't have.
What about an 18-year-old? 19?
Maybe. I mean, I think 19 probably. But I don't know. Just because even my brother, I have a brother that's 6 years older than me. And I remember being 16 and we were at my dad's house and my dad wanted us to go to this rugby thing. And I was like, I don't want to go. I want to go with my friends. My brother was like, you need to relax. Okay. It's not the end of the world. And I was so mad at him because I was like, you don't get it. But he did get it. And he took a similar path. He went to Ireland right after he graduated and played rugby. And he still plays international rugby. So
oh, that's great.
I should have listened to him. But
earlier.
Yeah.
Shoulda, woulda. So what is a lesson that you can share with other teens? You think they would actually listen to you?
I think just like do what you feel like you have to do and what feels right for you. And even if you feel like you could fail or it's not worth it, it is worth it. Mm-hmm. And I've had so many people ask me like, well, what if it doesn't work out? I'm like, I don't even think about that because I don't believe that it won't work out. Yeah. And I'll keep working no matter how much it takes to make sure that it works out for me.
That's so good. What would you have done if, and I think we were in a community where this could happen, where you had parents that said, absolutely not, you're not doing that, you're going to college. I mean, like you have like that was a breaking point. How do you handle that as a kid?
I'm so lucky because both of my parents, I was 13 and I called my mom and I was like, I want to be a singer. This is what I want to do. And she was like, cool. Okay, let's get you in the studio. My dad was very supportive. I think if I didn't have that support, I would just
rebel.
I mean, I think I don't even know if I would rebel.
You would maybe do what they asked.
Yeah, I think I would probably just be like, okay, that's just
Isn't that miserable for us to hear? Because look how the joy that would be not happening right now.
Well, I think that's a really good takeaway for parents. You know, we have to remember that our kids some of them do know what they want to do, and they should be allowed to follow that passion, whether they fail at it or not. You know, I remember, and again, you know, my hundreds of thousands of dollars of therapy, there were a couple top takeaways. And one, I used to tell one of my kids, you just don't get it. You have so much potential. You're so good if you just put your mind to it. You know, well, they didn't want to put their mind to it. They didn't want to do that. And the therapist would say, just let them be themselves.
Yeah.
Do not try and push that much. But you're such a good athlete. Why wouldn't you want to play? Well, because he doesn't want to.
Yeah.
But the one thing that I get from you is that you keep saying, I work hard. I'm going to do, you put the time into it. It wasn't, because sometimes kids may say, well, I want to do this. Because how many kids don't dream of this is what I want to do, but they're not willing to put in the work. And it's like you knew you wanted to put in the work.
Yeah.
And that's the difference. It's like that's your passion. That's what you're going to do. And it's like you said, I don't know if it's going to be through this route or that route, but I'm going to get there. I'm going to get there one way or the other. And that's the thing that I admire about you is that you want something and you're going to work hard to get it. And you're going to do it.
Yeah.
You're doing it.
Thank you. Yeah.
That's fab.
It's interesting because in high school, my mom, like, I was doing music in high school and I was recording and stuff, but I wasn't like, if my manager was like, hey, come to the studio today, I'd be like, oh, I don't really want to, you know, because I was so like, well, I'm in high school, that's kind of embarrassing. Like if I release a song, then that gives people the option to criticize what I'm doing.
Talk about vulnerability.
And so my mom actually was like, if you want to do this, you got to do it. You know, you got to put in the work. You can't you can sit here and say you want to do it all you want, but you have to put in the work and you have to do it. And this year honestly has helped me so much and not going to college because it's like, if I have the time, I'm going to go, if I can be there, I'm going to do it. And it's just like, if I'm not working or if I'm not, going on a walk or something, I'm playing the guitar, writing a song or finishing a song or doing something. So
job. I mean, it feels like it's a joyful job. It's your purpose.
Right. And it doesn't feel like work. It's like just if I'm bored and I don't want to sit on my phone for 2 hours, I can play the guitar for 4 and write 3 songs in like 4 hours.
Just like they do when they're bored and they want to just study math, right?
Right.
I'm going to go put in 4 hours of my joy
I
of
talked
math.
to my daughter this morning. She goes, Mom, I just registered for my new
I
classes.
know, that's true.
I'm taking math and I can hardly wait. I'm like, what? Can you say that one more? Who is this?
Yeah.
Hello.
That's hilarious.
I think that's, you're doing more than you realize by leading by example too. And we know your friend group. And I think it's super cool that other young people see, she's busting her ass. She's out there really working. Like you don't get to even go to college and then just get a great job.
Yeah.
You've got to work your way.
Yeah.
But on top of
Yes.
that, you actually have a job.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Besides doing your recording and your songwriting, you actually have a real job that to pay your way, right? Like that's a thing. It's not you're working really hard to make your dream come true. It's not like your parents are just out there like, here, we'll fund
startup.
you.
Yeah, because that would be so much less motivating. Like honestly,
wait a minute. Can we just? This is what we try and teach our kids.
Yes, pause right here.
Entire adult life.
Yeah,
You have to work, skin in the game. It's your thing.
because if it wasn't my money, I mean, I'd be like, yeah, let's do it all, But it's like I have to work to do the things that I need to do.
Perfect.
So
way right there.
yeah.
I have to do the work to do the things that I want to do or have to do. Either way, that's a choice. That's really great. Strong women.
I know. This is awesome.
Yeah.
See, you really are a leader, so you got to keep on. Okay, one big message. What's one big?
Oh God, put her on the spot.
We know you're following your dream.
Yep.
We know you're working for it.
Yeah, you got to put in the work.
We're trying to let parents out there know that this whole college thing and as teens get older, it's harder. So we got to share things that help get our teens through it when they're anxious or depressed, or what can we do? Like as a parent, we watch all this go on, but here you are, you're just getting started. You've got all these other kids, teens, and folks behind you. What can you share that's just a little bit different? Like a one-off. Like don't eat apples and then throw the shit in the whatever. Just sink. I don't know.
For parents and kids or just in general, I think just having support from everyone is so important. And if your kid's like, I don't want to go to college, that's okay. You don't want to go to college, then what are you going to do? You have to, I think having something is so important. Like having, even if it's just like, I don't know what I want to do, but I want to get a job and I want to make money. Like that's your purpose right now. Let them figure it out, but also make sure that they know what they are going to do just for now. They don't need to know what they want to do in the long run.
That's a good one.
That is good. That's great.
Yeah, just the support, I think.
Wow.
That's called building your friends up. And we were just talking about that the other day. You want to be around people that build you up, not pull you down. That's really, really important.
Sure.
So that's it's a good message for parents and kids, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because parents sometimes we think we know best, right?
Yeah.
Like we think they have to go to this school and they're going to do this for a living, and this you don't know what you want. You don't know. You're just a kid, And sometimes you do know what you want. There are kids that don't, and they want you to tell them, but there are kids that really do know what they want. And I think you're right. We need to be supportive as parents and be respectful, but at the same time, make sure that they're being accountable.
Right. Yeah.
So we're going to bring this back around when Peyton Medina from Little Lakeway, Texas, really hits the charts. She's already on Spotify. You can find her music there. Peyton Medina, she's amazing. So can we just secure this right now that in concerts we can have front row? I want
VIP green room.
Okay.
You heard it here
so
first.
we at the end of these, we sometimes come up with these.
I just had another question though. Sorry. So you mentioned that you wanted you and a friend want to do a podcast.
Yeah.
Because I think this is important. And that you tell us just a little bit about that.
Thank you, Sandra.
We were sitting there just talking about, because she's doing ACC, so she's in community college, and obviously she's having a different experience than the people that are at UT or whatever.
Yeah.
And we were just talking about how much we've learned, and this was like the first 2 months, I think, or the first couple of months when everyone was in school, and we were like, we already have so much that we want to talk about, and what we've learned, and what we learned from high school, and things that we wish we would have known. And we just wanted to talk about things that we've wasted so much time on, like wasted our energy on. And
that's so insightful.
Yeah,
that would be awesome.
Yeah. So,
well, can we get the two of you back?
Yeah.
Talk about that?
That would be
I mean,
fun.
I know
That would
you're
be
going to do
great.
your own podcast. But
Yes.
we would love to.
Yes.
We would love to have you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's do it.
yeah, that
would
would
be
be so
awesome.
fun.
Collab.
A collab.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Yes.
Cool. And Kathleen, you look so smart with your glasses. I love them. They're purple.
Don't mention the
Okay, I
cataract
thought of a
surgery.
question.
Oh, good. When's your cataract
this is-
surgery? Is that the question?
No. You look very young.
Thank you.
Okay, so if you were going to have your own album, what would the name of it be?
Okay.
No.
That's hard.
Me?
I mean, you can go first.
We all answer it. We all
Okay.
answer. Yeah. It's the end question instead of
already have yours, right?
like
I'm sure
closure.
You've been dreaming of it forever, but I'm thinking of I don't know, hot, sassy. I don't know. No, okay, go. Not really.
I actually don't know. I don't
Oh gosh!
know. I have
okay,
to
so
think
we
about
had
it.
to name a coffee one day.
Yeah, we
Sandra asked us. We had to name a coffee after our kid, and I was like, Avery was some sort of bubblegum spice. I don't know. Okay, so an album
would be this has been taken, but like the long and winding road.
Oh,
Yeah.
Because
okay.
I just like the journey.
Okay,
like,
that's pretty
So
cool.
yeah.
Okay.
Maybe just the long winding road. They had
Okay.
long and wind.
Okay, all right.
Beatles.
Sandra?
I don't know. Maybe something like I'm so into you.
Oh, that's cute.
Who is it?
Is that a song
I don't
already?
know.
I
I'm
don't
still
know.
looking.
Okay, I don't know. I have not thought about this. Sometimes we think about it. I think
Hers
mine
is
might be like, just
ILMM.
don't tell me no.
That's good.
Yeah, LML. I love my life.
LML, just don't tell me no.
Just don't tell me
It's
no.
a subtitle.
Yeah, okay.
I don't know. Maybe like love letters or something like that, because I just wrote a song called Love Letters, and then that would make sense.
That
'cause,
does
like
make
if I have a
Sweet. It's sweet.
bunch of songs that are like I love you,
That'd be
be
awesome.
love letters. That would be cute.
And we know your mom loves love.
She does. I wrote the song Love Letters because I woke up yesterday and she had left early for an interview, and she got me flowers and wrote me like a little note and was just like,
See there,
She was beautiful.
like, yeah, thank you for being my person. I love you. And I was like, I'm
know what?
inspired.
Do the extra things, people. Do the
Yeah.
extra things. This
Little
is a
things
perfect
count.
way to wrap.
Yeah.
Thanks again, Peyton. We love you.
Thank you for
Best of luck.
having me.
Adios.